So greetings from Shenandoah National Park once again. It's day 2 of our trip down here. Today is Thursday, May 8th. We just got done hiking down and up out from visiting the Corbin cabin. And in that video I was talking about how the skies are starting to look a little angry. So it's just a little bit after 3 o'clock. At 4 o'clock they're calling for isolated thunderstorms. But it's not quite 4 o'clock. My campground is just right over there. So scouring over my map, the map from Purple Lizard Maps, just kind of looking for a quick spot to check out maybe. I think I found a spot. We'll see. There's some parking right here, but those skies are starting to look dark. But there's a spot. We'll check this out in a moment. But I found a spot on the map called called Rattlesnake Point. So we'll see. There should be a trail right down right here, but this is an old CCC building. This is pretty cool. I know back home in Pennsylvania, I just made a video talking about the CCC camps and starting a series on that. This is one of their buildings here. It's cool. So it's cool to see them down here in Virginia too. Yeah, I guess that's what it used to look like. Yeah. The Piney River Technical Building is one of the few remaining structures that reveal the rich history of the Civilian Conservation Corps in the Shenandoah National Park. Yeah, in that intro video to the CCC camps of Pennsylvania, talked about the formation of the CCC by Roosevelt. Help people find work during the Great Depression. Yeah, during the 30s, this area was the site of a CCC camp, NP-12, Company 1393, known as the Redbird Camp. Huh. Yeah, I think our trail is right here. It's not going to be a very long hike out here. I think this is a little connector trail to the Appalachian Trail, and then there's something called Rattlesnake Point. There's Rattlesnake Point overlook. Right there is Skyline Drive. You see that cyclist going, but there's something called Rattlesnake Point itself. We have a map up here. Let's check that out. Maybe this will give us some more information. You are here. Well, they don't have it listed on here. There's Rattlesnake Point overlook, but on my map it talks about we're right here. We're gonna walk out here. It says out here somewhere there's something called Rattlesnake Point. It's not listed on here, but let's go check it out. Let's see if there is anything back here. And just kind of looking at the skies. The temperature is dropping too, but it feels good. So this is a completely unplanned hike. I'm not sure what we'll find. I was just looking for a spot on the way back. There were 2 other hikes I was hoping to do. I knew I wasn't probably gonna get both of them done. I was either gonna hike up to what's called the Pinnacles or something called Cave Falls, but with the time of day and with the thunderstorms coming, I just, wasn't gonna have time for those. Plus I would like to be back at my campsite before the storms come in, just to secure like my canopy down and stuff. So we'll see. I was looking at what I'm using is called Purple Lizard Maps. They're based in Pennsylvania, but they do maps for other places too. One of the neat things they do is at spots of particular interest, they put a little purple lizard on the map. But they didn't have one at this spot, but it was clearly labeled on their map as Rattlesnake Point, so just kind of curious if there's anything there. I know that map I just showed you doesn't have anything, but I've discovered that's the way it is. Well, some of these maps here at the national park, the maps at these trailheads don't always show all the points of interest. Because when I was here back in April, one of the places I went to was called Fort Windham Rocks. It was these neat lava rocks. They're massive, and there's a big crack you can walk through them. But the trailhead, the map that they had there, the kiosk, said nothing about it. Didn't have it pointed out, so we'll see. Alright, we should hook up with the AT soon. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this is what we're on is called the Piney Ridge Trail, and it continues that way, but this is the AT right here. So we're gonna go left. Not too far up this way should be what's labeled as Rattlesnake Point. But it is getting darker. I feel like I'm racing with the time here too. Beautiful wildflowers, that's golden ragwort. Some white flowers, which I think is star chickweed. Some wild geraniums over here, the purple ones, all kinds of stuff. But what will be at Rattlesnake Point? I should have you all guess now in the comments. Will we find anything? Will there be anything noteworthy? I get a feeling it might be an overlook, a small one, maybe a rocky point jutting out. But you let me know down what you think it's going to be, or will it be a complete bust? If we get to Skyline Drive, we went too far and saw nothing important. Yeah, but at least the temperature is dropping. When I was coming back up from the Corbin cabin, it was like a 1,000-foot hike back up to where I parked on Skyline Drive. That was warm. A bit tough coming back up, but it feels a lot cooler now. Definitely a weather system moving in. We're going up. Well, let's check those out. Those almost shine neon. And tomorrow, day 3 of my trip, is going to be a total washout with rain. I didn't know that when I planned this trip, but you know how the weather changes. So I was hoping to climb Old Rag tomorrow, but I'm not going to do that, not in the rain. You can hear Skyline Drive over there. My hopes are going up though. We're kind of hiking up towards this knob. Look at this. Is that an overlook we're gonna get up here? All right, maybe we will be rewarded. Or maybe my hopes will be dashed. Still looking promising up ahead. Check this outcrop out though. Maybe that's a Rattlesnake Point. Big outcropping of rock. Huh. Maybe we'll have to climb that. We'll keep going a little bit more. I think the road is right up here. Okay, my hopes are falling again, that it's going to be any kind of a view. Yeah, I can see Skyline Drive right down there, and here's another kind of a knob right here. I wonder if there's a trail. Huh. I don't think I'm going up there. That's not really a point. I'm gonna go back to this rock. I feel like this rock is Rattlesnake Point. I'm guessing this is Rattlesnake Point because this is where the trail kind of comes out to a point and goes back this way. I wonder if this is more of that, what they call greenstone, that ancient volcanic rock that's throughout the park. We're gonna go up. Make the most of this hike. Maybe there's rattlesnakes up here. Maybe that's why it's called Rattlesnake Point. All right, but if you climb up, well, there's our view, huh? Not bad, we'll take it. I'm gonna say this is Rattlesnake Point. Kind of a neat little isolated rock outcrop. Kind of looks like that other, volcanic rock we've seen in the park on this trip and then on previous trips. So I'm going to call this Rattlesnake Point. At least that's the only thing that shows up. On my map, it was kind of pointing to that bend in the trail, so this must be it. Maybe there was a time when the view here was better than it is now, because there's a view. Like in the summer, the trees leaf out, you won't be able to see much, but my curiosity is eased though. Rattlesnake Point. Not quite as spectacular as the views we've had this morning and yesterday. We had some really amazing views. But anyway, still a nice little spot here. Rattlesnake Point. Just looking for rattlesnakes too. Alright, it's 3:30. I'm going to start making my way back. I don't know, maybe there's some other significance to this spot. I don't know. But I'm going to call this Rattlesnake Point. Alright, make my way down. Alright, farewell, Rattlesnake Point. Those rocks they're about as tall as I am. Maybe I should put you down and walk up to them. I look out for rattlesnakes too. Because maybe that's why it's called Rattlesnake Point. Yeah, about as tall as I am. And it looks the same as that other volcanic rock we've seen in the park, so I think it's what they call greenstone. Alright, probably just a shorter video, but I wanted something quick to do. I was looking for other things along Skyline Drive. A lot of them are either too long or too whatever. Like I said, I don't have... Time is not an option right now. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, longer amounts of time are not an option. Plus I need to change out the battery in this camera too. But who knows, maybe there used to be something more significant back up here in the day. Back during the CCC days or whatever. There's all kinds of stuff hidden in these forests here in Shenandoah National Park from the past. So maybe there might be more significance to that name that's just kind of hidden or lost or forgotten. I mean, I'm guessing they found rattlesnakes there in the past. Maybe someone got bit by a rattlesnake there, who knows. Alright, here's our trail intersection and head back up to the CCC camp. I might double check the signage up there to see if they say anything about Rattlesnake Point. I just felt the first raindrops. Alright, so we timed this out pretty nicely then. Alright, reread the signs, didn't see any information about Rattlesnake Point, but apparently they're hoping to restore this building at some point too. Alright. But that'll be it then for this short, quick, kind of unplanned adventure. But it still works, it's still kind of fun just to go off on a random hike, see if you can find something. Not really sure if we did or not, but anyway, it worked out time-wise. But I do have to head back to camp as another plane flies over. Lots of planes fly over this part. But yeah, I got another night of camping ahead of me. I'll probably take a nap a little bit too, but I'm hungry. But we'll be heading out in the morning. Because like I said, it's just going to be a washout tomorrow. Hopefully when we wake up and packing, it won't be a total downpour. But, well, we'll deal with that when it comes. Alright, I'm yapping. Thanks for coming along this little adventure, folks. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.